Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Learn with Virali. I'm Virali, your guide on this coding adventure. In this video, I'm going to share the 3 exact time management tricks that helped me to finish the PMP exam with some time to spare. So let's get started. Okay, so trick number 1 is the 72-second rule. You have 180 questions to be answered under 230 minutes. So if we just end up dividing 180 by 230, you have 72 seconds per question that you get in order for you to answer all the questions, that is all 180 questions. So 72-second rule makes it important for you to understand that if you are stuck on any question, you need to mark it for review and move on to the next question and come back later on to see if you have time in order to reread the question and come back again. Remember, it's always good to answer more questions rather than getting stuck on a few and then being left on with more questions unanswered, which is going to decrease your chance of passing the PMP exam at the very first attempt. Okay, so trick number 2 is what I call it as a 3-pass strategy. Now, PMP exam is divided into 3 different sections, right? From section number 1 comprises of questions 1 to 60. Section 2 comprises of questions 61 to 120. And then section 3 is the last section which contains questions 121 to 180. So now, PMP clock timer goes the other way around, starting from 230 minutes until 0. So it is going the other way around, but we need to divide the time based on different sections. So we need to remember here that section 1 can be finished up in first 80 minutes. So if you subtract 230 minus 80, you end up somewhere about 150 minutes on the clock timer. So you need to remember that as soon as you come up to the 150 minute of the clock, it is the signal for you to finish up faster with your first section so that you don't overspend the time, which is going to be less later on in the other sections. So section number 1 to be finished up in first 80 minutes, that is 150 minutes on the timer or on the clock that is shown onto your screen. Section number 2 has to be finished again in 80 minutes, landing up to 150 minus 80, which is 70 minutes on the clock timer. And the last section that is going to have the last 70 minutes remaining. So it is 80, 80 and 70 rule that you will be following up with all the 3 sections that you would be seeing all together. So this is the second trick, or trick number 2, helping us to divide the time based on different sections onto the exam. And finally, trick number 3 is to use your breaks strategically. That means at the end of every 60 questions, you will be asked whether you want to take a break. So if you click on yes, you would be having your exam stopped and a proctor will come to you and you will be getting out of the examination room, wherein you can refresh, have something to eat, as it is going to help you to maintain your focus. So it's very necessary to take those breaks after the end of every 60 questions. That is, after the end of every sections, you will be asked for whether you are interested in taking the break or whether you want to take a break or not. So always take those breaks, as it is going to help you to focus or get your focus during those 60 questions that you will be answering after the break. So make sure you use that break. Please don't read during those breaks, as those breaks do not last for more than 10 minutes. Also, with all the procedures to be performed while entering the examination room and coming out of the examination room, the breaks get shortened up to around 8 minutes altogether. So make sure you use those 8 minutes to refresh and to regain the energy that is going to help you later on to focus on the questions upcoming for your next section. So make sure you use those breaks strategically. So just to recap on what we have discussed so far, trick number 1 was to allot 72 seconds per question. That is, if you are not able to answer the question under 72 seconds, make sure you mark it for review and move on and come back later on whenever you are reviewing those flagged questions. Trick number 2 was to allot times based on different sections. So 150 minutes should be somewhere when you have finished section number 1. Again, when you reach to the timer on 70 minutes, you should be finishing up with the second section. and the last 70 minutes should be allotted to section number 3. Trick number 3 was to use strategic breaks, or to make sure that you use your breaks strategically, wherein you get refreshed, have some snacks, and get ready to bang on the next section that you'd be answering on. So make sure to take those breaks, as there are 2 different breaks that you'll be getting at the end of the first 2 sections. So always take your breaks, otherwise it is going to be very stressful for you to answer the next set of questions, and you might not be able to answer it with the same focus that you had answered the first set of 60 questions. So make sure you take those breaks as per the end of every section. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, as it is going to help me to reach out more people just like you. Follow the tips that we had discussed a while ago, and time management will be the least of your worries for your PMP examination day. See you in the next video.